Hello, Tiger fans. I'm Shan, and welcome back to Hoops and Football. Alrighty, so Richmond versus Port Adelaide didn't go our way, did it? But I think there was a few good signs, a couple of good names I've decided we should talk about, and things that we've learnt from that game that we can improve on next week against St Kilda. So let's start off with Jacob Blight, the middle-aged recruit from last year. 4 games with his sixth game today, and they threw him in the ruck and then threw him forward. I don't know about everyone here, but I was very impressed on those positions where he moved to and what he did when he got that time. I think it shows elite skill of being able to adapt and go to multiple positions. I get a bit of a Alex Rance vibe from him, that talent that he can go forward and read the ball, go in the ruck and tap it, and then get his own ball back, and he wants that tackle. He's happy to chase. I think it's a good weapon to have in Uze's back pocket. I don't want to see it used all the time, but I will say it's always a nice thing to have, because every now and then when things aren't going your way, it's good to spice things up and throw the magnets around and see what you can get and who hits, so that injuries occur, which is going to happen. Richmond always seems to have them. We get shortened forwards and Noah Bolter gets back or Josh Gibcus gets back, we can throw him forward, or he can stay in the lineup on the bench and be a pinch hit buckman for Nane Curvis to rest. So I really enjoyed his game. I thought it was impressive. Probably one of the best on the ground. Maybe not the best, but he was up there for me from watching the game. And then I would like to talk about Harry Armstrong. I think he was picked 25, meant to be a top 10 pick. And I believe we may have a steal at the pick that he was. I think it was 2 goals, 2. Probably could have kicked 5. I know he didn't do really much in the first 3 quarters, but I don't think a lot of Richmond players did much. But to see Harry Armstrong in that 4th quarter kind of take it upon himself to go, nah, I'm not. This is not how I'm going down for my second game. It was impressive for a forward. Who's still coming into his body, who probably won't be at his peak for the next 3 or 4 years until he kind of bulks up and gets used to the AFL system. But I think he's going to be one of those players that just hits straight away, and I don't think we should be doing any of this. Give him 4 games in, 4 games out to change him around. I think if he doesn't have a bad game or doesn't show you that he's improving every single game, I don't think you take him out. I think he's going to get better every single time, and this game might have looked slightly different if he had kicked 4. Imagine if he had kicked 4 straight and didn't miss a single one. I know he probably still would have lost by, was it 60 points? We may have lost by 40. So it's a different spin, and I like how he led up. He seems to read the ball, the drop of the ball really well, which is impressive for a second gamer. I know on all these reports as a junior, he loved the contest and he loved the marking. And he's a left footer, and he bloody nailed it, kicked that set shot straight down the centre, which is good to have, because unfortunately Richmond hasn't had too many players for a while now that can tend to kick straight. So it's good to see. He never seems to stop chasing, and he always seems to want more. I don't know about everyone here, but I would love to see him maybe get more forward time when Tom Lynch comes back. I think you lead those 2 together, because I feel like that is going to... he might play... Say Tom Lynch plays 15 games. That 15 games to play with Tom Lynch might equal to be 30 in experience to learn from a spearhead, or the linchpin, or the godfather they are calling him now. So it's one thing that I think that we need to keep doing with him. I know that Lynch will be back next week, so we've got to work out, is Liam Forster going to come out, or will they maybe rest Harry Armstrong? But I think you leave all 3 in, because I don't think any of them done anything wrong. So that's what we'll do. I think that's my prediction, but see how we go. What did we learn? What did we learn off the Richmond Port game? The first quarter, what I learnt was, I think we were ball watching too much, too busy watching the play, not keeping an eye on our man. If you saw the play multiple times along that far right wing, they just chipped it over us constantly, because we weren't following our man, or we were too busy ball watching. As I was saying, that the Port players just chipped it over because they knew that the next Richmond player had to come forward to try and slow him down, but it was just a chip kick over chip kick, and once they got it into our 50, it was 3-on-1, and most teams aren't going to lose a 3-on-1 contest in their forward 50. So I think that's something we need to work on next week, because on that second half against Carlton, it felt like we kind of played man on man, that we made every player accountable. And I think we should play man on man to give these young players to learn what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are, and can they outstrength somebody, or do they have to use their speed and agility, or maybe their IQ around the football field? Because this following the man in front of you just killed us. I think it caused us 4 or 5 goals just in the first half. So it's got to change. But what else did we learn? I would say Luke Trainer might be another steal in the draft. Second game, that guy has some anger in him and that want to succeed. I think he repeated what he did against Carlton last week. That lead up, clean hands, clean kicking. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. He made a few mistakes with the handballs and a couple of kicks he kicked out of 50 that was just going nowhere, but he tried. He was putting an effort in. In a few years' time, he might slow down, take an extra 3 or 4 seconds to assess, scan the area, and kick that ball out. So that's another stepping stone we're getting from our backline. So Tom Brown was kind of where Trainer was a few years ago, but look at Tom Brown now. That boy has elite kicking skills coming out of that backline. Kicks that ball low and hard for a 15, 20 metres, and it just pinpoints his play every time coming out that backline. So hopefully in a few years, maybe Trainer can learn off Tom Brown on that kicking skills, because it was a very, very good to see. But it was good to see at the second half where we kind of did switch to a man-on-man, and we kind of did clamp him up. We did kind of show him that we got a bit of fight in us, but we can't be having that again like we did against Carlton and like we did against Port. That first quarter and a half, they just slap on 10 goals, and we're really chasing our tails. It's gonna kill our spirits, I think, and we've got to counteract with that. And I think that man-on-man mentality can help. I know it's not easy to do, but it makes everyone accountable. So that's something we've got to adapt to as well, that once they kick those 3 or 4 goals in a row, I will admit that first goal was bullshit. Sorry for my language, but that was a handball by Banks every day of the week. So to me, that was a gimme. Also, that 50-metre penalty on Ben Miller, we all see that Rioli flopped, because my fart could blow him over than he did. That was a horrible flop. I feel like he got touched and used when I'll take my feet out, and we'll be good after that. So yeah, a few things we need to learn, a bit more discipline. There was a lot of that, a lot of undisciplined players. So a few learning curves from here and there. I was impressed with Sam Lawler. I know I think he had 10 disposals and 1 goal, but he's got that grunt about him that, come at me, I'm going to palm you off. There was 3 instances where 2 players went at him and he still palmed them all off and broke free. So I think what we've learned from the last 2 games with Sam Lawler is that he loves the contest. He loves players coming at him because he wants to give you that don't argue, like a Harley Reid and a Dustin Martin. So it'd be good to see more midfield time for him. With Tim Taranto playing as he did on the weekend, I feel like we need to do a switch with those two. One plays 60% forward, one plays 40% midfield. So it's a bit of a rotation. It gives Taranto a chance to go forward, and he's a very good kick on goal. That's what he was like at the Giants in 2019. So I think it's maybe rejuvenating him a little bit as well. But that's my thoughts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, because if you did, could you please like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you think there's something that we learned during this game that we can take into the game against St Kilda that you think that we should all hear about. Please leave the comment, and I'll definitely look into it and respond to you. So I appreciate you guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys next week, or I'll see it after the St Kilda game, or maybe even I'll do a review and do a what team I think we're going to be going into with the St Kilda game. So see you guys, and stay safe.